Your cat feels safe with you, but do you know why? It's not the generic "they trust you." It's the real, specific, behavioral reasons, the things you do, probably without even thinking about them, that send a signal directly into your cat's nervous system and tell it, relax. Nothing bad is going to happen here. Most of these aren't grand gestures. They're tiny, almost invisible things. But to a cat, an animal whose entire survival strategy is built on reading micro-signals in their environment, these small things aren't small at all. They're the foundation of every purr, every belly-up roll, every slow blink you've ever received. Here are 7 things you already do that make your cat feel safer than you'll ever know. 1. You move predictably through the house. This is the one nobody talks about, and it might be the most important thing on this list. You have a morning routine. You wake up, go to the bathroom, walk to the kitchen, make coffee, sit down. You do it in roughly the same order, at roughly the same time, most days of the week. To you, it's autopilot. To your cat, it's the single most reassuring thing about living with you. Cats are pattern-dependent animals. Their sense of safety doesn't come from strength or size. It comes from predictability. A 2019 study by researchers at the University of Lincoln found that environmental predictability was one of the strongest predictors of low stress in domestic cats. Cats in homes with consistent daily routines showed significantly lower cortisol levels than cats in unpredictable environments, even when the unpredictable environments were objectively better, more space, more toys, more stimulation. Your routine is a map your cat has memorized. They know where you'll be and when. They know the sound of your alarm, the rhythm of your footsteps, the click of the coffee machine. Each predictable event confirms to your cat that the world is operating normally. No threats, no surprises, everything in its right place. When your cat is already sitting in the kitchen before you've left the bedroom, that's not psychic ability. That's proof they've studied your pattern so closely, they can predict the next step before you take it. You don't have to be exciting, you just have to be consistent. And to your cat, that consistency is too. You talk to them in a soft voice. You probably do this without realizing how much it matters. You're walking past your cat and you say something, "Hey buddy, what are you looking at? You're so ridiculous." The words are meaningless. The delivery is everything. Cats don't understand English, but they are extraordinarily sensitive to vocal tone, pitch, and cadence. A 2022 study led by Charlotte de Mouzoun at the University of Paris-Nanterre found that cats could distinguish their owner's voice from a stranger's, but only when the owner used a high, soft, affectionate tone. Normal conversational voice, no recognition response. Sweet, warm, slightly exaggerated tone, ears forward, head turn. Approach behavior. Your soft voice does 2 things simultaneously. First, it identifies you. In a world of ambient noise, your specific vocal pattern in that specific register is a biometric signature your cat has locked onto. Second, it signals emotional state. A calm, gentle voice means a calm, gentle human. For a 10-pound animal living with a creature that outweighs them by a factor of 15, knowing that the big thing in the house is in a good mood is critical intelligence. Every time you mutter something sweet to your cat in passing, you're broadcasting a status update. All clear, and your cat receives it every single time. 3. You don't stare at them. This one is counterintuitive. You'd think eye contact would be bonding, and in human relationships it is, but with cats, the absence of staring is what builds safety. In feline communication, a sustained direct stare is a threat display. It's how cats challenge each other. It's pre-conflict behavior. 2 cats locked in a mutual stare are not friends having a moment, they're deciding whether this escalates. Most cat owners naturally avoid prolonged staring at their cats, not because they studied feline ethology, but because it feels weird to stare unblinkingly at an animal. How that instinct, that natural tendency to glance at your cat and then look away, is one of the most powerful safety signals you give them daily. Dr. Sharon Kroll Davis at the University of Georgia has documented that in feral cat colonies, affiliative interactions between bonded cats involve brief visual contact followed by gaze aversion. The pattern isn't stare then look away as a submissive gesture. It's a mutual agreement to share space without challenge. Every time you glance at your cat and then return to your book, your phone, your cooking, you're telling them, "I see you, I'm not worried about you." You don't need to be worried about me. That brief glance pattern is the visual equivalent of peace. You've been doing it your whole life. Your cat has been grateful for it every single day. 4. You let them leave. This is the one that separates cat owners who build real trust from those who accidentally erode it. When your cat is on your lap and they decide to jump down, do you let them? When they're being petted and they shift away, do you pull your hand back? When they walk out of the room mid-cuddle, do you let them go without comment? If the answer is yes, you've given your cat something profoundly important, the knowledge that they can always exit. Cats are what behavioral scientists call a control-oriented species. Their stress response isn't primarily triggered by negative events, it's triggered by the inability to escape negative events. A 2017 paper published in the Journal of Feline Medicine and Surgery emphasized that perceived control over their environment is the single most important factor in feline welfare. More important than enrichment, more important than diet, more important than space. Every time you release your cat when they want to go, you reinforce the deepest form of safety a cat can feel, the certainty that they are never trapped, not physically, not socially, not emotionally. This is why cats who are never held against their will often become the most affectionate cats in the house. The freedom to leave is what gives them the confidence to 5. You respect their sleeping spots. Where does your cat sleep? The corner of the couch, the top of the cat tree, that one weird spot behind the armchair, the center of your bed. Now, do you move them? Do you take over their spot? Do you rearrange the furniture they've claimed? If you don't, if you work around their spaces, step over them, and leave their chosen spots untouched, you've given your cat territorial security that most cats in multi-human households never get. Cats invest real cognitive resources into selecting sleep locations. Every spot is chosen for a reason: temperature, elevation, sight lines, proximity to you, distance from noise. When a cat settles somewhere, they've completed a calculation that weighs all of these factors, and when they return to that spot the next day and it's undisturbed, the calculation is confirmed, the territory is stable, nothing moved, nobody invaded. Environmental stability research by Dr. Sarah Ellis at the University of Lincoln has demonstrated that cats who have reliable, undisturbed resting locations show measurably lower anxiety behaviors, less over-grooming, less urine marking, less hiding. You don't need to build elaborate cat furniture. You just need to notice where your cat chooses to be and protect that choice. Leave the blanket wrinkled where they shaped it. Don't reclaim the chair they've adopted. Let their corner be their corner. That undisturbed spot is your cat's anchor point, and you're the reason it stays anchored. 6. You exist without demanding interaction. Do you ever just sit near your cat and not touch them, not talk to them, not try to engage them in play or petting or eye contact? If you do, you're giving your cat one of the rarest gifts in their domestic life: pressure-free proximity. Most humans are interaction-oriented. When we're near something we love, we want to touch it, talk to it, engage with it. But cats are presence-oriented. Their deepest bonds are built not through interaction, but through coexistence. The quiet act of being in the same space without needing anything from each other. In feral cat colonies, the strongest affiliative bonds are demonstrated not by grooming or rubbing, but by spatial proximity during rest. Cats who trust each other sleep near each other. They don't need to touch. The nearness is the statement. When you sit on the couch reading while your cat sleeps on the other end, no words, no pets, no agenda, you're replicating the most natural bonding structure your cat species has ever known. You're being a colony member who simply shares space. Over weeks and months of this, the distance shrinks. Your cat moves closer, not because you called them, but because you never did. The absence of pressure became an invitation they accepted on their own terms. That's not indifference. That's fluency in your cat's language. 7. You come home. This is the simplest one, and it's the one that matters most. Every day you leave, and every day you come back. That cycle, departure and return, absence and presence, is the single most important pattern in your cat's emotional life. Kristin Vitale's 2019 study at Oregon State University tested how cats respond to being separated from and then reunited with their owners. The results showed that 64% of cats displayed secure attachment behaviors upon reunion, seeking proximity, settling down quickly, using the owner as a base for exploration. These are the same attachment patterns seen in human infants with their primary caregivers. But here's the detail that makes this one so powerful. Secure attachment doesn't come from the quality of the reunion. It comes from the reliability of it. Your cat doesn't need you to make a big fuss when you walk through the door. They need you to walk through the door, consistently, predictably, every single day. That key in the lock, that footstep in the hall, that sound of the door opening at roughly the same time it opened yesterday. Your cat has been listening for it. Maybe from the window, maybe from the back of the couch, maybe from the middle of a nap that they weren't fully committed to, because some part of their brain was waiting. And then you're there, and the world is complete again. You don't have to do anything extraordinary. You just have to come back. And for a small animal whose entire sense of security is built on the predictable presence of one specific human, that's the most extraordinary thing anyone has ever done for them. You probably didn't realize you were doing most of these things. That's what makes them so powerful. They're not performances. They're not tricks you learned from an article. They're just the way you naturally exist around an animal you care about. And your cat noticed every single one. Every soft word. Every respected boundary. Every undisturbed nap. Every predictable morning. Every return home. Your cat filed all of it. And from those thousands of tiny, unremarkable moments, they built the thing that matters most to them in the world. A feeling of safety so deep, they stopped guarding against it.